Hello everyone. Today is 31st of August 2022. Now it's 11, almost 11 in the morning by Moscow time. And I'm Levan Gudadze, host of this little YouTube channel, in which we are talking about some news that are making headlines in Russian media outlets for moment that this video is made. Before we start talking about some interesting news, let me ask you to subscribe on my channel. That will be a great that will mean great deal for me, because trust me, it's hard to reach audience, man, without advertising, and I don't do advertise because I just can't to be frank. So yeah, please consider to subscribe on my channel. I'll be grateful for your support. Now let's start Now let's talk about some newsmen that are making headlines in Russian media outlets for this moment. First of all, of course, we have to talk about so-called offensive of forces that are loyal to Zelensky, so-called counteroffensive. As you know, that counteroffensive did start day before yesterday. If we take map, that's approximately area that this counteroffensive is conducted. And as I was predicting in yesterday's video, Zelensky's regime did suffer great losses in very first day of this counteroffensive, and we can say that this all this military operation did failed miserably. Even though Kiev is pushing his forces to attack Russian defense lines, which does not make any sense, not from military point of view, not from any point of view. They are just pushing the soldiers to die, man. And all this stuff is just, as I was saying yesterday, this is just a PR stuntman, public relations stuntman for Zelensky, who has to show his Western masters in Washington and London that he is doing something, And as you see, in Western propaganda outlets, they are talking about this so-called offensive like a great breakthrough, man. It's shocking how inadequate Western propaganda is, man. If you listen to them, you may end up thinking that Zelensky's forces did already talk not just Kherson, but they are almost like in close proximity to Moscow, man. That's how crazy this Western propaganda is, man. It's just unbelievable. When in reality, in very first day, as I was saying in yesterday's video, forces that are loyal to Zelensky did take heavy losses. When I was making yesterday's video, I did not have for that moment update from Russian Defense Ministry. Update was made a little bit later during the day. But even with information that I had, I was suggesting that casualties from Zelensky's side will be something around 2,000 to 3,000 soldiers, KIAs, and wounded. And after Russian Defense Ministry made an update, it's become clear that my prediction was absolutely correct, man. If we take information from Russian Defense Ministry. Let me first of all so if we take information from Russian Defense Ministry in this area, in area of Kherson and Nikolaev regions and the Kryvyi Rog region, Zelensky's forces did lost around 1,200 soldiers killed in action, more than 50 tanks, around 50 armored fighting vehicles, tens of artillery pieces, few jets, helicopters. I mean, that was disaster, man. That was absolute disaster for forces that are loyal to Zelensky. So if we're talking about 1,200 KIAs, then usually statistic works this way, man. For every killed in action, you are talking about 2-3 wounded personnel. So if Zelensky's regime lost 1,200 soldiers for yesterday afternoon, then wounded soldiers must be like around 3,000 to 4,000. So it seems like entire brigade, like even 2 brigades, were out of action. That's how big casualties are on side of Zelensky's regime, and these idiots in Kiev, I mean Zelensky and his henchmen, they're still pushing their reserves in Nikolaev region and Kryvyi Rog region to continue to push on to attack Russian defense lines. And these soldiers are just dying under heavy artillery fire, and under aircraft and helicopter fire. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. I'll give you some information about villages that are for this moment held by Zelensky's regime. As I understand, for this moment, what all they achieve with this so-called counteroffensive is they establish some sort of control, maybe operational control, maybe a full control. I'm not there, so it's hard for me to know for sure. But it seems like from news that I'm reading in official media outlets and in Telegram channels, it seems like Zelensky's regime has had some control over the Krasное Znamya, that's a village, Ternovые Pody, Lazovaya, Sukhi Stavki, and they are trying to block Russian units around the village of Olgina in the Vysokopolye. In close proximity to around Sukhoy Stavok and Lazovaya, they are bringing more equipment and manpower. I mean Zelensky's regime. So fighting is very much fighting is going on right now on these areas, particularly around Olgina and Vysokopolye. So when I was talking about casualty numbers from Zelensky's regime's side, when I said that according to Russian Defense Ministry, they had lost 1,200 soldiers KIA. I mean, that was information for yesterday afternoon time. Since then, fight is, as you see, fight is didn't stop. So by now these casualty numbers must be even bigger, even higher, man. So even higher. So what eventually will happen, man? As I understand, after everything is said and done, you know, like in few days' time, probably we will stop talking about this offensive because everyone will understand that Zelensky's regime did achieve nothing with this so-called counteroffensive. And after that, probably, you know, probably we may see some changes in leadership of Ukrainian military. As you know, Zelensky and head of Ukrainian military, Zaporozhye, his surname, if I remember correctly, they have some issues. You know, they have some issues. Zelensky was pushing for this counteroffensive. Zaporozhye and other generals of Ukrainian forces, they were against it. And after this miserably failed counteroffensive, Zelensky may change entire leadership of Ukrainian armed forces, or at least he may try. At least he may try, and you know, I'm thinking that it's quite possible that at certain point, generals in Ukrainian army, even though they are under heavy control of American and British secret services, at one point they may say, you know what, enough is enough, you know, and they may just organize some military coup or they may do something, man, you know, because it seems like division between political leadership and military leadership of Ukraine are quite big, you know. So it may eventually become reason for some kind of regime change inside Ukraine. Let's wait and see, man, you know. I do believe that if these generals do nothing, if generals that are in head of Ukrainian military, if they do nothing, they will be, I mean, Zelensky will take them down, you know. And that may happen pretty soon, you know. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. This so-called counteroffensive never had any chance, man, for success. Yes, they may take, Zelensky's forces may take some few villages, but if you, you know, if you take one side, how many casualties they had, how many manpower, how many soldiers they lost, and how many equipment, you know, tanks and helicopters, jets, and, you know, other military equipment. I mean, you know, you will end up thinking that this was, I mean, some big failure from Zelensky's regime, and you know, and these areas, man, here, this is fields, man. This is, I mean, this area, this entirely a flatland, you know. So these attacking forces of Zelensky's regime, they did not have even in any place to hide, man. They were on an open field, you know. Then they were easy prey for artillery or helicopter gunships, you know, or attack aircraft. like Su-25s, man. I mean, these flying tanks. So it is what it is, man. Probably after today's update from Russian Defense Ministry, we will learn that in these few days of this counteroffensive, Zelensky's regime lost up to 2,000 soldiers, KIA, and around 4 to 5,000 soldiers wounded, around like 150 to 200 armored vehicles, man. So it's quite possible that it's quite possible that if Kiev will push this, don't stop and push his forces to attack Russian defense lines in this area, it's quite possible that, as I was talking about yesterday, man, it's quite possible that Russian side will start its own counteroffensive in this area and at least encircle Nikolaev and Kryvyi Rog. I mean, that's two directions that Russian side may start counteroffensive. Yes, we have some information that Zelensky's regime bringing around Nikolaev some reserves from Odessa, but they have talked so much casualties that I don't believe that this will change anything. There are some informations that Kiev is bringing to this front line forces from even Belarusian border, from the north. So I mean, let's wait and see, man. Let's wait and see. 2 or 3 days, probably maximum, and this so-called offensive will stall, and then I believe there is some chance that Russian side will start its own counteroffensive in direction of Nikolaev and Kryvyi Rog. Let's wait and see, man. Let's wait and see. So it is what it is. I mean, on this topic. So let's check some other news, man, because there are some other interesting news too. Probably, I mean, let's start with this information, man. Gazprom's Nord Stream pipeline was stopped, and today, and it will, Nord Stream pipeline is out of action, let me say that way, because of some maintenance issues, and this pipeline will start working again only in 3rd of September. So next 3 days there will be no gas exports in Europe from this pipeline, and as you know, Europeans already have some massive crisis, energy crisis. So even 3 days of delays are quite huge for them, particularly when this pipeline, even though this pipeline only works for like 20% of its capacities, we're talking about Nord Stream pipeline. Nord Stream 2 pipeline is ready to be activated, but as you know, because of Western sanctions and some other crazy stuff, that pipeline is not working, and probably will don't work for at least near future. So that's quite interesting news, It will be more interesting if after 3 days Gazprom will say that pipeline will stay out of action because of some other maintenance issues, because now when we have on our hands almost, open war between Russia and NATO member states. And some may say it's a Cold War, but I will say it's just war, man. Because the Western states are sending weapons, sending their military personnel undercover, if that's not war, then what it is then, So, yeah, you can say proxy war, but how, Gazprom may easily said that, we had some more difficulties and more issues with the maintenance of this pipeline, and, this Nord Stream will be out of action for next month or two, man. Even without it, man, in Europe they are in big trouble, man. They are in big trouble, and all of it because of the crazy elites, man. Everything that Europeans are enduring now is because of the crazy elites, man. Russophobic Nazi elites, man. So what else are making headlines, man? This is big news, of course. As you know, today, yesterday, experts from IAEA, International Atomic Energy, went to Kiev, and today this group will arrive at Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. At least that's at least that's what we are getting here. News that are coming to us. And so let's see, man. That's a good development, because as long as these experts from IAEA are stationed on Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, Zelensky's regime will stop shelling this facility, man. So, if I was a decision maker in Moscow, I will ask those experts from IAEA to stay in Zaporozhye power plant as long as this conflict is taking place in Ukraine, just to make sure that Zelensky's regime will stop shelling this facility, man. And endangering hundreds and thousands and millions of people, man, all around the Europe. Because, as you know, we are talking about nuclear power plant. This is not a joke, man. What else, man? What else are making headlines? Probably, information about Gorbachev. He had passed away. And you know what? In post-Soviet area, we are saying about dead people, about someone that are just passed away. One must say good or nothing. So in this case, I will say nothing, man. Because I have nothing good to say about Gorbachev, man. Just nothing good, man. And most of society in Russia and in former Soviet states will probably have same position, man. Gorbachev had no respect in Russian society, and will never have respect, man. What else making headlines? Now it's some update on Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. they are expecting IAEA experts in Energodar tomorrow. I did read news a little bit earlier that they were planning to go to Zaporozhye nuclear power plant today on 31st of August. But in this news, they are talking about, officials in Energodar, that's a city that Zaporozhye nuclear power plant are based. They are saying that they are expecting a visit from IAEA experts on 1st of September. Anyhow, man, this is a good development because security of the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant is of course a big deal. Of course, big deal. So probably this is it for now. If I may, I ask you to. If I may, I will ask you again to subscribe on my channel. Please consider that option. It will mean a great deal for me because, as I said, I cannot advertise my channel, but I do like to do this project. Because it's interesting for me. So I do like to share with you my opinion, to talk about information that are making headlines in Russia. And if you see this little project interesting, then please subscribe, push that like button, and from my side, I can promise that I will definitely try to improve quality, and to do these videos, I will definitely try to, make these videos more and more interesting. So yes, I just remember that yesterday one of the viewers did write commentary that there are some issues with sound. I apologize for that. I don't have microphone. I'm using just laptop. So in future, I will definitely, if I continue this project, I will definitely try to deal with some technical issues, and I will definitely try to, I will do as much as I can to make sure that these videos are interesting for you. Yet again, thank you for your time. Bye for now and take care.